Hey everyone, I'm Mike Ferris and welcome to this Part 1 anime painting lesson. I'll be starting off using black and white first, using various tones of grays to build up depth and texture, and then in Part 2 I'll be showing you how I add color on top of this black and white piece after it's completely dry. All of the colors and materials I'm using are listed in the description box below, so now let's jump in. So now getting started, I have a 12 by 16 cardboard canvas and I have 1-inch squares laid out, and I have numbers that are vertically as well as horizontally, and this is just to help proportionately draw everything out using the grid method. So I would go ahead and pause it now and draw it out using this method here, or if you want to make up your own or whatever it is that you desire to do. Okay, so on the back side now, you can see my canvas I did cover with permanent black and then dried it completely, and then with wax transfer paper and a stylus I went and traced my image on my paper that I had taped to it. So down in the description box, if you need more info on transferring images, there's a short video that's 3 minutes long in the description box. So now starting off, I have some titanium white and permanent black, and I have my number 4 round brush. So I'm going to mix up a fairly light gray color. I'm just going to take some white and just a touch of black. And with this sort of mid-tone gray, I'm going to start coming around him and defining his darker parts where I guess he's not going to be having any light hit him. So there's going to be this fiery lightning glow that's going to be enveloped around him. And so I'm going to start with just laying in some base color for now. And I'm not using any water. I'm just using the bristles just to dry brush it on and more or less just scrub this in for now. So I'm just barely loading the brush just a little bit, and again, no water and just dry brushing everything. And so as you can see, when the paint runs out, it gives this transparency like look to it, and that's going to really help to show this glow effect. And so let's put some of that on his chin here while I still have some of that value down. And this is going to be the start of a base coat for some of the color that's going to be showing a glow off of his chin here. So again, just going to go around him and dry brush and scrub this first base coat down. And this black and white is a really good way to do this, because when part 2 comes on the glazing and all the coloring, it's really easy to put that down with matte medium, which will make everything transparent, so you'll be able to see through the colors and see all this wonderful stuff that we're doing now in black and white. And so now I'm going to take my number 10 flat brush, and now I'm just going to get titanium white, and I'm going to start doing the hair now. And just using the edge of it, I'm just going to go up. And now if you go outside of your lines, or at any point in time you see color that you don't want, there's too much light or too much dark, just take the opposite color or any other tones of gray that you didn't want to leave, or I'm sorry, that you didn't want to cover up, and just knock it back with that color. And you can cover up over anything, anytime, and make this into whatever you want to see. So I'm just going to start building the hair right now, and this is just the first coat. So the first coat never looks all that great. This is just acrylic, so this is going to take a couple or so layers. And as I come up, I'm just going to leave some of these dark spots and have some of this gap in between the hair, and this is going to show some of the depth and body and texture that's going to be involved with the different pieces of his hair. So without cleaning now, just taking some permanent black into the mix now, and I'm taking this darker value, and I'm going to go up the hair like so on this part here. And so I'm going to play these different gray tones and adding more black and then just pure titanium white. And I'm just going to play these in together, and by leaving those values to play together, it's really going to build up the body and the texture. So now just getting some more black, and as you can see with a darker tone, just going to go over some of this lighter stuff. And again, this just builds up more depth and texture and putting some more of these lines and values together. Okay, so now with a clean brush, I'm going to take pure titanium white, and again with the edge of my number 10 flat brush, I'm going to go up here and just here and there, but not everywhere as the motto goes. And I'm going to hit the brightest highlights, and of course not cover up all those other tones. And this is going to make this pop and give it some more depth to it. Okay, so without cleaning now, just picking up some more black to that, and let's take this darker value, and once again, let's play this in and here and there, but not everywhere. Okay, now I have my number 2 flat brush. I can get into smaller areas, as you can see here in this very small line detail stuff. I'm taking pure titanium white, and again, gonna play these in. Okay, now just taking my number 2 flat brush now and just pure titanium white and just the edge of it so I can get into this small area. I'm just going to fill in the eye with this. Okay, and I'm going to hit the edge of the lip like so, and also a little bit down his chin like this. So this is just to show some light striking the edge of his face. Okay, so with more titanium white now, I'm just going to start up here and I'm going to start hitting just some of the colors and highlights, and I'll dance some texture in like so that I'll come back over and mess with. So just here and there, I'm just going to leave some dark stuff, and there'll be some heavier pressure and lighter pressure on some of the paint, which will show more or less a different value. So as you can see right next to that, I'm going to have more of this definitive area where the wrist and the hand come together and you can tell the difference. So just play these colors in. It's just sort of this very light tone, and now more titanium white right here on the glove. So this is what's going to show the differences and start for some base color, and we'll build this up. Okay, after some time to dry now, let's take another coat of this titanium white and make this eye as bright as we can get it. Okay, so now with the edge of my number 2 flat brush and a little bit lighter value of that gray tone than before that we scratched on around them, as you can see, let's just dance that in. And by doing this, this is going to create some really cool effects of some lightning and this awesome light show that's going on. So now I'm just going to come up here on the hair, and just with a clean brush, I want to take some pure titanium white first, and I want to go back in and reinforce some of these direct highlights and really make this hair pop. And now again down below, just here and there but not everywhere, I want to take just pure titanium white, and I want to make some of these highlights really pop out of this. Okay, now just picking up some permanent black, no cleaning necessary, and I want to just hit some of these areas in here. And right in here as well, with the paint left on the brush, there's not much left, so you can see it's not as dark. And I just kind of want to dance that in, again, using my number 2 flat brush. And this builds a little bit of texture and creates a little bit of fold within his bodysuit here. Okay, and besides texture, let's go underneath on the underside of his arm here, and so you can see I'm scratching in with that darker value, and it creates this shadow, and in that way it creates more of this dimension and texture to it. Okay, so now with a clean brush, and now just a very, very light gray tone. It's mostly white, but it's not completely permanent white, or sorry, titanium white. I get that and permanent black mixed up. I don't know, I'm using them together though, right? So why not? So anyway, just gonna go ahead and dance that in. And this is going to be, of course, heavier paint, as you can see, and lighter. So this again is going to create these different shades within each other and all these different squiggly lines, and that's what's going to really bring out this awesome light show. And when we go to glaze color on it, man, oh man, it's going to pop. So for now, let's get this in, and just here and there, you can do this however, and you basically just want to make sort of this messy, kind of fuzzy, you know, different heavier and lighter pressure type of mixture, and you get this really cool light effect. Okay, so just going into some more permanent black now without cleaning. Again, my number 2 flat. And let's dance some of that in on the body here and build up some more dimension and texture on that. Okay, after some darker tones, let's get a clean brush and pure titanium white. Again, my number 2 flat, and using the edge of it, I want to go back in and reinforce some of the bright highlights. Okay, now I'm getting my script liner brush. I'm going to use pure titanium white now, and I'm going to get lots and lots of water. I want this paint to run like ink and be very, very liquidy. And as I pull it through the paint, I'm going to turn it, and it's going to bring it to a point and load lots of paint on those bristles. So one more time there, and I'm going to go into this light show area here, and I'm just going to squiggle and just use just the tip of the brush. And every time I push down harder on this bristles, it will leave a thicker line. And then I can fade that out by leaving the brush off the canvas as I drag the line out into a thin line. So you can do this however you want to do this, and all I'll say is just don't cover up all those gray tones and all that mixture that we've done already, just here and there but not everywhere. and allow those other values to show through and have fun just squiggling away. Okay, so up close, as you can see, I'm using more pressure now, and as I get up to the point, now I can create these really thin lines. So play around with that and see what you can come up with. And this is a really good painting lesson if you're not good with a script liner brush and you want to get better at controlling your lines at will. So anything goes, anything you want to do with this, just let those other values show. And if you do something too much at all or you don't like something, take another value and just cover that back up to the degree that you want it covered. So now to add more interest to the party, let's take and I'll use the tip of the script liner brush, again lots of water, and I'm going to just make these little dots here and there, sort of like this splatter effect, and show some of these embers that are kind of exploding behind them and off of them. Okay, so I spent some time building it up a little bit more, and as I've said in other videos with acrylics, if you go in more times and put more layers down, it just gets better and better. And as you can see, all the different effects are a lot more now, and it's more vibrant, and there's more saturation there. So I apologize about the eyes and the nose that I did not get to cover. It's very simple, just a very light gray tone around the eyes, as you can see, and on the nose a little bit, and then that little triangular shape there on his cheek area there, and that gives it that really nice glow effect off of this lightning storm that is happening behind and around him. So my camera died, so I didn't get to video that, unfortunately, so I do apologize. But that's pretty much the lesson right there, and this is just, again, the black and white portion. And if you have any questions or comments, drop those down below and click on the next video for part 2, and I'll see you on that one. And until then, happy painting, everyone.